You wake up. The clock says 5 a.m. The world outside is still asleep, but you are wide awake, staring at a future that seems so far out of reach. The day ahead will be filled with obstacles, yet the most crucial question lies in the back of your mind. Will you follow the same path as everyone else, or will you do what the 99% won't? There was a man who, just like everyone else, started with an ordinary life. He had big dreams, but they always seemed just out of reach. He watched others work hard, live by routine, follow the well-trodden path, and do what society expected. Everyone was doing the same, climbing the same ladder, chasing the same goals, running in circles, but something inside him gnawed at him. Is this it? Is this all there is? He began to notice something strange. The few people who truly stood out, the ones who made massive shifts in their lives, were doing things that no one else dared to do. They weren't following the crowd. They were doing what made them uncomfortable, what pushed their limits, things most people avoided out of fear of failure. It was waking up at 5 a.m. when everyone else was still asleep. It was putting in the extra hours when others called it quits. It was taking risks, big risks, when everyone else played it safe. It was making sacrifices, pushing boundaries, and constantly challenging yourself, when others were enjoying their weekends or taking it easy. He knew that if he wanted something different, he had to do what was different. He couldn't just follow the crowd. He had to break the mold. But that didn't come without doubt. What if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? But he understood something that most people didn't. Failure wasn't the end. It was part of the journey. Every successful person had faced rejection, failure, and setbacks. They didn't quit. They learned, adjusted, and kept going. And that's exactly what he did. At first, it was tough. It was grueling. The doubt was real. The pain was real. And the loneliness sometimes felt unbearable. But every time he pushed through, he learned something new. He grew stronger. His mind sharpened. His vision became clearer. His journey wasn't easy, but it was a journey of transformation. Weeks turned into months, and slowly things began to change. The rewards were small, at first tiny victories that no one else saw. But he kept going. He woke up earlier, stayed up later, took risks where others hesitated, and made sacrifices that seemed impossible. The world around him didn't understand it, but he wasn't doing this for the world. He was doing it for himself. Then, one day, something changed. People started noticing. They started asking, "How did you do it?" The same people who had once doubted him now wanted a piece of his success. But they hadn't seen the hard work. They hadn't seen the sacrifices. They hadn't seen the nights he stayed up, the moments he pushed past his fears, the pain he endured to get where he was. When he looked back, he realized the truth. He had done what the 99% were too afraid to do. He had taken risks, stepped into the unknown, faced his fears head-on in doing so. He had changed his entire life. You see, success doesn't come from doing what everyone else is doing. It comes from doing what others are too afraid to do. It comes from waking up when no one else is, from taking risks when others play it safe, from pushing yourself beyond your limits when others are comfortable in their routine. So now, it's your turn. What will you do? Will you follow the same path as the 99%? Will you stay in your comfort zone, playing it safe, taking the easy way out? Or will you step into the unknown, embrace the discomfort, and do what others are too afraid to do? Because success doesn't belong to the 99%. It belongs to the ones who dare to make the impossible possible. The ones who do what others can't or won't, and that could be you. But only if you dare to take that first step, will you?